Good morning, Manchester United fans. Good morning, football fans. FA Cup weekend is in full swing. Manchester United kickstart their defence of the title today at the Emirates against Arsenal. We've got plenty of content coming up throughout the day on FUTV regarding all of that and what's happening on Matchday. Got a bit of a buzz back again, I think, this morning, knowing that football is back. It seems like we've waited ages for a United game, having this much time in between. Wow. We have all the news in between that as well. Ruben Amorim and his warning, his brutal warning to every single Manchester United player on standards. Some really good quotes from the embargoed version of the press conference that came out late last night that actually hits the mark, absolutely putting everything back into perspective for all Manchester United fans. And more importantly, the players, Kobbie Mainoo talking about Manuel Ugarte as well. The Rashford situation could be taking another twist. We'll see, and we'll talk about that as well. All of the other transfer rumours and everything else going on. Updates on Diego Leon. We have a lot to talk about this morning, and we want all of your input into it. I want your matchday vibes coming into this show as well. Obviously, we've got the warm-up show, which is going to be around about 11 o'clock today. A jam-packed schedule we've got today, because straight after this, we're into the paper round on Football Talks. 11 o'clock, we have got the warm-up show. Then, of course, we've got the watch-along on Big Up later for United Arsenal. I'll have my instant match reaction after that. Then at 6 o'clock, we have got the breakdown show live with Jay and all of your thoughts on today's game against Arsenal as well. And then we're jumping straight into El Clasico live watch along on Football Talks here on YouTube later on as well at 7 o'clock. It is full, jam-packed. What a day we have got. I'm excited. I cannot wait to get started. We're starting with United this morning, keeping you up to date with everything that's going on. And we went through pretty much everything last night, transfer-wise, around the Inacio situation, what was happening with Marcus Rashford and AC Milan. Actually, in that, just before we get into Ruben Amorim's brutal quotes on I'm basically just kicking every single Man United player up the arse and just saying, yeah, you thought you were good, but you wasn't. Before we get into all of that, I just wanted to talk about, I made a comment last night about, watch this now, all of a sudden, now that Kvaratskhelia has been announced as wanting to leave Napoli, and Napoli looking like they're going to be selling to PSG, just watch Napoli all of a sudden come into the frame, and there's a reason why Manchester United actually leaked out news that they would take 35 million for Marcus Rashford in January, a cut price offer just to get rid of him. Watch Napoli come in for Marcus Rashford now all of a sudden, just putting two and two together. And the first headline I see this morning in the papers, Napoli now expected, Daily Mirror, to come in for Marcus Rashford, having agreed terms with PSG, or player as anyway, or that deal moving along, and they just want to replace Kvaratskhelia right now. If they're in a title charge, they may need someone straight away just to cover it, because he wants to leave right now, and that has escalated. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We'll get your thoughts on that as well. And would you accept 35 million right now if it was on the table, or would you want more in the summer just to see? Zlatan obviously spoke last night around Marcus Rashford and everything that was going on, and how he expects things to go, hoping to talk to him personally as well. He is impressed with Marcus Rashford. He knows Marcus Rashford, all of that jargon and everything else that's going on. But honestly, just get the deal done. We don't really care for what anybody else thinks of Marcus Rashford right now. We're not really in the actual sort of market for listening to anybody big up Marcus Rashford. We just need talks to move forward and the deal to be done. We'll touch on that a little bit later, and I'm sure there'll be things breaking as we're actually talking right now. But good morning, everyone in the chats. Good morning to everyone who has got up early, ready for the day. Any United fans that are travelling to the game today, 8,000 Manchester United fans at the Emirates for the Arsenal FA Cup clash at 3 o'clock. Good luck to you. Travel safe. Hope you're well. Enjoy the day. There were plenty of people in the actual chat. Quickly, first of all, Block, who is probably at the game today, I'm guessing has dropped his super chat in. Don't worry about anything that happened, mate. Everybody has their sort of moments. I really appreciate it, and thank you again for the super chat, mate. Good to have you back in there. It's fine. Don't you worry, my man. We know what you are, true red, and you love this community. We love you too, mate, so thank you for that. We have another super chat that's just come in from You Got Raws as well. So Napoli agrees to buy Rashford outright, but Rashford wants to go to Barca, who can only take him on loan. What happens then? The saga continues, mates. Thanks for the super chat, You Got Raws. And it does look that way, doesn't it? Even now, Mac there, Cava is only getting paid 45k a week. Rashford on 350. Look, they've got plenty of money. If they get what they want and this deal happens for Kvaratskhelia, it's 80 million plus. That's what you have to put into perspective with this right now. And everybody knows that Rashford isn't going to get the same money that he's got at Manchester United. Even he realises that. Let them worry about it. Look, all we need to think about is Marcus Rashford leaving United and Ruben Amorim, the main man, being able to move forward with the rest of this squad. Let them all worry about everything that they've got going on. I don't care if he goes to Napoli, I don't care if he goes to Milan or Barcelona. I said it before, I don't care if he goes to a Premier League club. All that matters is Ruben Amorim is in charge of the players that he knows that can work for him, that he knows will actually go out on that pitch and give absolutely everything. And that's the cry from Ruben Amorim in his embargo press conference last night, and where we want to move on to next. Literally just calling out every single player. I'm just going to read through some of the quotes that have come out from Ruben Amorim so you're completely up to date. Then we'll dissect them all and go through them. But Ruben Amorim on Manuel Ugarte, first of all. This is an interesting one because he feels like he's got even better from when he was at Sporting. I think he is better with the ball, playing between the lines. He continues to be an aggressive player, but I think he has improved some ways because he trained with some of the players at PSG. When you train with different players, you have a different confidence. In training, you have different problems and you improve. So playing with better players definitely makes him play better, is what he's saying there, basically. Ruben Amorim, again, when asked about whether Manuel Ugarte is setting the standards in the dressing room, and this is an interesting one, this one. It is his style. He is from Uruguay. That can help. He is a good example. A lot of players are giving their best. I mean, to quote Uruguay and their mentality and what they bring, I mean, you have to look at Uruguayan players. The dedication to the game is unmatched. It really is. Just think of a Uruguayan player and tell me that they aren't fully focused on the job in hand. Actually, do you know what? There's a lot of South American players you could probably just bring into that category. It's all about the football, isn't it? It is all about the football. The passion is unrivalled. It really is. And I think he is just an example. There were some quotes coming up through the week about Manuel Ugarte, about him being the last player to leave training as well. Extra training all of the time, always trying to get better. I feel like it might have hit him a little bit being dropped out of that PSG side. And he's just got that right footballing mentality to go, I'm not going to just fall into obscurity right now and disappear off the planet because one big manager at a big club has left me out of his side. He's knuckled down, he's got the transfer he wanted, and he knows, even coming to Ruben Amorim, yes, that was a safe bet, but he's still having to improve and having to go to that next level to be a main player at Manchester United, because Ruben talks about resting players. He talks about how his rotation system is. It's like Manuel Ugarte now, for instance. This is Ruben Amorim. He says he will always play more. He plays more games than Casemiro. I think we're seeing that definitely. We're probably seeing that's why we're getting all of these Casemiro talks about him leaving. Look, Manuel Ugarte is the main man in midfield. He really is. The partnership he's built up with Leacher and the connection there as well. The South American contingent and Portuguese contingent at Manchester United is really strong. I think that is a good core of professional players right there. When you look at them players and you look at that group in particular, it just shouts out to you, no nonsense football. That's all that is. And Manuel Ugarte is just right at the top of that list. Do you not just love this guy? Honestly, I can see why Ruben Amorim likes him. He's just that perfect professional that you want to work with as a coach, isn't he? But then again, the topic goes around to Kobbie Mainoo, and there was headlines in the papers this morning about Kobbie Mainoo, earn your contract. They're all over the papers, and this is Ruben Amorim again. So the press conference and what happens is we got the first part, which we covered on Friday. Then there's always an embargoed version, and it will always be for the Sunday papers. So all of the Sunday papers this morning, if you look through any of them, they're all covered in Kobbie Mainoo stories. Don't get too carried away by it. It's everything that was said on Friday, and the Sunday papers will always be in on the press conference ahead of the game that weekend. So they have just got their articles and everything ready to go. They get the luxury of being able to have a couple of days to perfectly set up their columns and their pieces in the newspapers. And that's what happened. So don't think anything new has happened over the weekend. This is just pure quotes coming from Friday. What we already knew and we talked about regarding Kobbie Mainoo's contract situation, but Ruben Amorim has opened up on this, and they've just jumped onto it and put two and two together. It's journalist, it's what happens. And he goes in on this one. Regarding Kobbie Mainoo, first of all, just to get again on Ugarte, Ugarte is a really important position in the team, and it was easier to pass the message to him, but I think all the other ones are improved. I think Kobbie Mainoo is improving a lot during the last matches as well. I think what he's trying to say there, Ruben Amorim, is Kobbie Mainoo is improving next to Manuel Ugarte. and understanding the system. Agate gets the message. He then plays alongside Kobbie. Kobbie lynches onto that. And he's looking for that. He's looking for his leaders. Go back to what Ruben Amorim said about his leaders and the need for leaders on the pitch. That's important as well. He then goes into Kobbie Mainoo off the back of his Manuel Agate comments and says, I think you guys, the journalist, in brackets this is, feel like Kobbie Mainoo is the finished product. He is not. He has so much potential to grow up even more. I don't know if he means... yeah, I think that's lost in context there a little bit, in translation a bit. But he is really good, but he can be so much better. I think he's improving. All the players are improving. All the players are important to me, no matter whether they worked with me in the past. Well, I've just got to applaud that. I've got to just say Ruben Amorim is just nailing it. Is it everything that Manchester United fans want to hear right now? I don't want to be hearing that Kobbie Mainoo just should be getting 200 grand a week. I don't want to be hearing he's the best thing since sliced bread. I want to be hearing he has got and had a great start, got great potential, can get even better, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. He's still not finished a full season at Manchester United. Let's not forget that. He had a great second half of last season. He's had a poor start to this season. So let's see now. And like Mainoo, in the comments there from Ruben Amorim, he's improving over the last few matches. Oh, yes, he is. We have said this and we have seen this ourselves. Against Newcastle, he showed things up in midfield. Yes, a tweak in formation to nullify Newcastle's attack. They're already 2-0 up. You could easily counter that by saying it's easy to say that when you're already 2-0 down. Everything has to get better from there. But it visibly did look better with Kobbie Mainoo on the pitch. And then his performance against Liverpool. Two of the teams ahead of us fighting for Champions League and the actual Premiership, and Kobbie Mainoo stands out. Newcastle's midfield is seen as one of the best midfielders in the league, and you got that solid Liverpool midfield as well, which Manchester United, I thought, won with that battle with Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Agate. I thought they were outstanding in that game together, and I think he is finding a little bit of a partnership there now, and you can hear and feel the excitement and enthusiasm in Ruben Amorim's voice when he talks about the players. And that, again, is key to this. It really is. Because he also goes back in, and this is a key piece as well, regarding what Manchester United's standards are, where Manchester United were last season. And just to read up on that Casemiro bit in the midfield with Agate as well, Ruben Amorim asked whether he is close to knowing his best 11. And this is the point I was just trying to make. It depends on the players, but you see in there, there is less rotation. For example, Manuel Agate plays more than Casemiro. You can see through the choices that some guys earn their place, but it is always open and it depends on how they play. Some guys earn their place. He's basically saying everyone else needs to up their game to get back into this side. That's the beauty of what he's saying right there. It's a feeling of winning that counts. This feeling can give you a lot of confidence. If you win something, you believe you can win other things. This feeling is addictive. This is Ruben talking again about that winning mentality. Amorim, we have to suffer. We have to run. I saw at Liverpool when the referee blew the final whistle, some of my players were very tired and they lay down on the pitch. That's not something you see in every game. He goes on to say past that as well, it's easy to play well when the weather's nice and you've got that full stadium and it's that perfect moment against in an FA Cup final, for instance. He reverted back to talking about the FA Cup final. It's easy to play a game and play well like that when everything is set up, perfect conditions, perfect surroundings, everything's great, there's a lot to play for, you have to be fully concentrated, it's easy to play in them conditions, he says. But he wants to go back to the Nottingham Forest game and the Newcastle game. You have to be able to play like that in this games as well. Pretty much just shouting out there, obviously, the main issue with what was there last season. It's not about trophies. You need to see progression on the pitch. You need to see progression gradually through every single game. These are all the words coming out of our current head coach's mouth right now, which is music to my ears and I'm sure music to a lot of other Manchester United fans' ears as well. It's brilliant to know that he understands the situation. Yeah, it's good. You won a cup, but that doesn't mean that you're progressing. You turn up for one game when everything is perfectly set up and then you just fall off instantly the games after, which is what United did at the start of this season. He's calling out what happened last season and saying that that isn't progression. That's not what you can judge progression by, and I think he's bang on the money. I don't even have to mention the guy's name who was bigging up trophies and how much they'd actually won. You all know who we're talking about, and you all know who Ruben Amorim is talking about there. And I think he's getting through to the players gradually. Like, we're going to have to do more. You have to suffer like this every single game. You're busting a gut and you're feeling it after every performance. Otherwise, you've not done your job. And I think that is the message coming across from Ruben right now. And that's what you've got to love about this guy. He just gets it, doesn't he? He understands what the fans want. He understands the pain and what the fans are going through, watching these players week in, week out, continuously failing every single game. You'll have a good performance, you'll have a fall off. That's what he's talking about. And I don't think, and this is where the media and this is where stories and people's opinions will revert straight to Kobbie Mainoo, when everyone's talking about Mainoo and saying this is what he's talking about. Mainoo now, he needs to do more. He loves his academy players. He was talking in the press conference in the first part of it about the academy being better, the players performing better, the recruitment being better. And everybody's made a story about the recruitment being better because the academy players are not good enough. And that being Kobbie Mainoo. Well, no. It's not that. He sees the potential in Kobbie. He wants him to realise. He wants that potential to come out. He said he's not best. He's not the best yet. And he said it there. It was perfect like you, the media. I think when he says the media, I don't think he actually said it. It's like he says you guys. So he's obviously talking to the media. So everyone's just assumed that he's talking to but I think he's alluding to everybody when he talks about Kobbie Mainoo. You think he's already done. He's a world superstar. And this is the problem. Think back to a previous interview and a conversation he had this week when he's talking about not building these players up too quickly. We have a tendency at this football club to turn players into big players when they are not fully there yet or not developed. And he's talking about this again. And everything that we've been discussing, not one person said that Kobbie Mainoo is worth 200 grand a week wages, I don't think. There may be the odd one in here and there, but the understanding is, I think, from the fan base and a lot of people, is that we need to have a system in place where these players are not built up into something that they're not instantly. They're not made to feel like they've already got everything and the world is at their feet. They have to earn their way in. And if you're a teenager coming through at Manchester United, it should be years before you're earning stupid amounts of money. You have to knuckle down and you have to prove your worth, is basically what Ruben Amorim is saying in this. And I think that is clear in the message from his press conference, and them extra words and comments from the embargoed version of the press conference from Friday. I think he's laying it out. He's laying it out. This is not good enough. This is nowhere near. It's like you had a good game against Liverpool. So what? You move on past that. He said it after the game, didn't he? When he said, look, I feel angry that we've not won the game. I think I have the right to be angry because this is how we should have been playing in previous games. Bruno Fernandez said the same thing. Really interesting in what's coming out, and really interesting to see what's actually and how basically Manchester United have developed along with Ruben Amorim so far, and what's happening on and off the pitch. It really is. And it sounds crazy again. No, not crazy, but it sounds like I'm completely bigging him up again as to something that's not been, that's not come to fruition yet, as in he's not really proved anything because he's not took United there yet. But everything that he's doing so far really is, and it does need talking about. It really does. So, yeah, I'm going to get your comments on this now and go through a few of them. There's some interesting information on Alvaro Fernandez coming up as well, which I'm going to get into. Well, David Ornstein, just quickly, he was talking on another podcast, and even he said, look, if you to ask me right now if Marcus Rashford is going to leave Manchester United, this is that pie in the face moment where you can clip it up and say it, but I think yes. So even David Ornstein, from what he is saying that Marcus Rashford is expecting him to leave Manchester United this window. I forgot to bring that up in the Rashford piece a little bit at the start of the show, so I just wanted to bring that up there. But let's get into some of your comments on everything that's going on. Kobbie Mainoo, earn your contract. That headline alone is going to ring true with a lot of Manchester United fans this morning. I just feel like it's been put out the right way as well this time, because it's not a case of everyone having a go at Mainoo saying he's bad. Everybody knows how good he is. The problem we've got is, it's like we make these players feel like this is just going to be there instantly. the way that this club has been run, it's like, I've had a good season, I'm going to get a massive deal right now. And this is what players will be thinking at United. It's crazy. It really is. Don't forget, guys, straight after this show as well, 9 o'clock, we are over on Football Talks for the paper round. There's lots to talk about in there as well. Some interesting stuff coming out. Into the chat we go. Brian Sheeny, thank you. First super chat. Ruben Amorim is an exceptional communicator and thoroughly decent bloke, but there is also a real toughness there as well as really sound judgment. Yes, well said and well put across there. Thanks for that, Brian. It is a brilliant comment. It is true. It does look like he has that steel. You only have to look at some of the old team talks in the changing rooms that Ruben Amorim has when he was at Sporting, when he's absolutely slaughtering players for their performance and going in on players. He's great in front of the media. He's great in front of the camera. And I think he is that communicator. He's a man manager as well as a tactician. He's the full package. And we just need to be right behind him and fully on this. Managers can talk, they are not on the pitch, but players should do their talking on the pitch. Enough of empty words after every debacle, says A. Let's get a few more comments in. Rick says, people think a Kobbie is worth 200k a week because players who are on that are doing less for more. Yes, it's killed them off, made them lazy. Rashford, Casemiro, etc. Look, this is what we've said before, and this is the hard bit in this situation. It's all right saying it to Kobbie, but then I do get the argument back and saying, well, what about Mason Mount? What about Marcus Rashford? What about Antony? What about all these players on stupid amounts of money that are doing nothing for this team right now, that are in this squad? I get it, but this is now. This is now, and Ineos will have to set. They will have to set that bar high. If you want to earn, you've got to be at that level. And they've got a coach now that will drill that into them as well. You are nowhere near good enough right now. Nowhere near. And if you want to be earning them wages, the club has to be earning that money too. So that means that we have to be in and competing in the Champions League. Then you can earn that money. The way that it's been run before, and it's sad, and this is why I feel the club are making a definite effort to move everybody on. So it shows the other players that we are negotiating with contract-wise. There isn't just them that are being punished because of what the other players have got. These players will be moved on. It's as simple as that. Eventually gone. Antony, Casemiro, Rashford, all of these big earning players will be moved on. And you have to perform at a better level. That's the message. That is the message, I feel. He will get 200k a week in a couple of contracts from now. Got to work his way up the ladder first. They will give him a raise. 200k is crazy agent talk, though. I think that's the starting block. I think he's gone in at 200 saying, look, Antony's on that, so why is Mainoo not on that? Well, what they will come back with and say is, look, we are negotiating it. We will think about this, but Antony's going to be gone by the time you sign this contract. So that's what we think of that one. Not worth it. And this is where the club is going. There is a progression there. You are young. You will get a new deal. It will be more money. But to get to them sort of lines and them sort of numbers, then you do really have to be playing more consistently, and the team needs to be playing more consistently as well. And I think that's where the reality is, because you could also say, look, the players that have just come in that are really doing well at Manchester United are on less money as well than the likes of Antony, than the likes of Rashford, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandez, all of these high earners, Mason Mount, all of the players that have come in, none of them are ahead of them big earning players. So this is the stall that Ineos is setting out. Look, there's your example. Look what Mazraoui, De Ligt, Yoro, Agate, Zirkzee. Look at what these players are on. This is the rounds. This is the sort of area that we're looking at. These are the numbers that you're going to be looking at. And I think that's where the negotiation on that comes in. Mainoo never asked for 200k a week. These are rumours coming from Where are these rumours coming from? Mainoo is a good and humble person. I don't like that people are portraying him as a gold digger. He's not. I think we made it quite clear when the story first came out. He's not a gold digger. This is all driven from his agent. But agents run football. And this is the reality. It's all right saying, yeah, he's a great lad. He's brilliant. Yeah, he is. He's a top lad. I've been there. I've been in his company before. He's brilliant. But unfortunately, he's not the talker. And when it comes to contracts, it's the agents. So reality is, his agent's going to be told, this is this. Kobbie Mainoo is going to be told by the manager. and the coach. And that's what we're talking about this morning. Let the club deal with the agents. Let Kobbie Mainoo speak to Ruben Amorim. And that's what's happening here. And that's the balance between Ineos and Ruben Amorim right now, and why that partnership is key for United moving forward. Ruben will deal with the players, and then Ineos will deal with everything else. Ruben has dealt with all the players 2 months in, and look at what he's done already. And how we've seen players change all of a sudden because they've had their ass kicked. And then Ineos will come in and go, okay, what do you want? You got to cry? You're going to go bitch to your agent? Sorry, see you later. This is the club. This is Manchester United right now. It's going to take a lot of time to get through to all of these players. It's going to take a lot of time to sieve out the crap. We know this. We can't do it all in one go. But you only have to see what's happening and what's being worked right now. And Marcus Rashford is prime example of what is to come. And if everybody doesn't look at that situation, the golden boy of Manchester United, the highest earner, highest appearance maker, most experienced player at the football club, being isolated the way he is, and moved away from United's squad and starting and matchday squads, and look to be moved on to another club. If the likes of Kobbie Mainoo's agent or whoever's agent doesn't look at that and goes, well, yeah, this is a change in Manchester United now, we're not going to get what we want anymore, then they are up for a rude awakening. They really are. Andrew says, makes me laugh when the media describe a player as a star. What does that mean? They described everyone as a star. Yeah, they do. They're always big players up to more than what they should be. Super chat in from Enjoy Writing. Thank you, mate. We should go all out to win today, mate. Morale. Yeah, we do need to boot. Ruben Amorim has said it himself. We're going out to win that game today. We have competed in all of these away games. We haven't played like the old United from last season and the season before, where we've just stuck back and given possession away. We've been in every one of these big games. I'm quietly confident today. And when we go into the live show later in the warm-up, I'm going to be all on that, all over that. I am really, really confident that Manchester United can get the result today. Really confident. Welcome to the Members Club as well. Another new member in the house. Alex, thank you, mate. Make sure that you are involved in the polls and everything else that's going on in the live chat as well, please, everyone. Get your comments across. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV. And make sure you have subscribed to Football Talks. We are on the march, everybody. 1,300 in the room, only 200 likes, so please get them likes up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, everybody. We've got more comments to come. I want to get into the piece that's come out on Alvaro Fernandez. There is a lot of talk about him as well going around this morning. Here's an explanation for this. Here's an explanation for this for everyone in terms of the buyback clause for Alvaro Fernandez. This is the information that's been put out. The buyback clause for Alvaro Fernandez is fixed at 16.7 million buyback. However, United have a 50% sell-on clause, which automatically means that if we're signing him, we pay half of that, which makes 5.8 million. This is a transfer method. So it gets a little bit more complicated. So this is really interesting. So we pay half of that, which makes it 8.5 million. This transfer method that big teams have been using recently, especially Real Madrid. An example is their signing of Fran Garcia, whereby they had a buyback clause of 10 million. But paid 5 million due to having a 50% sell-on clause as well. Hats off to United staff which made this possible, but would only look silly if we didn't activate this option even now or in the summer. Worth a shot. It's not interested. If he's not interested in returning, it's understandable, but we need to have a look at this. Wow, that is definitely something that we need to talk about. My God. Let's just keep on onto this, because there's another piece on Alvaro Fernandez on this as well. They keep rejecting our return. We keep on balling. We stay winning. Alvaro Fernandez won his first trophy with Benfica last night as they beat Sporting in the Taça da Liga Portuguese trophy. Congratulations to one of our own, Alvaro Fernandez. So they beat Sporting last night in a cup game. And, wow, yeah. Alvaro Fernandez, just watching highlights of this game, he's absolutely ridiculous. He is in such good form right now. But I'm just going to come to the chat on this. How intriguing is that? Alvaro Fernandez for 8.5 million. Just fucking sign him. I'm sorry, that is a win-win situation. I didn't know about that. And I'm just talking about that now with you guys. A super chat in from You Got Raws. Bring it in Alvaro. Fix the left wing back for now. If he works, keep him. If not, he is worth more than £16 million. Thanking Erik Ten Hag for this situation. Yeah. Actually, Ten Hag not wanting him is stupid. To not see the quality. And we don't have to even be talking about this or even spending any money to bring a player back. But we sold him for £6 million. Basically, it's just a very, very elaborate and complicated loan right now because that's what it is. I think in all of this, when you balance the monies out, when you look at what we sold him for, look at what we'd have to buy him back for, I think it is just an elaborate loan. Look, he's gone out, he's won more while he's been away. He's performing outstandingly for Benfica. And if United are looking at 8.5 million, you go and make that deal happen. I'm sorry, look, I've talked about bringing in what Ruben Amorim wants. I've talked about everything best in class and making sure that they fit his system. But honestly, for 8.5 million, you go and get him anyway. And you go and sell Dalot and go and get a right wing back. Do you know what I mean? You could even go buy Alvaro Fernandez, sell Dalot. Yeah, sell Dalot. Sell him for 40 million. This is just me being brutal and ruthless right now. Sell Dalot at 40 million, whatever. Bring Alvaro back. You've still got 30 million plus from that. That can be onto another player. That, in fact, could go and buy you an Asio, like we said before. Honestly, I didn't know about that deal. I didn't know about the 50% sell-on having an impact. I knew there was a 50% sell-on for Alvaro, but I had no idea that it impacted the buyback as well, which is crazy. So basically, United have been extremely clever with that, and Benfica are shitting a brick right now, if that is true. That's mega. Erik Ten Hag also forced the club to sell Kovar and spent 60 million on Onana and Bayende. It's a good point, Almac. Very good point. Benfica are openly talking about trying to fuck us on the Alvaro deal. Worst case scenario, I bring him back and still, I bring him back to sell him for more. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, honestly, that for me is a no-brainer right now. You trigger that, don't you? You would automatically trigger that straight away. That it shouldn't even be a question right now of where we're at with that one. Is it true that he doesn't want to leave Benfica? Look, he's happy at Benfica, but he's never turned away Manchester United or said he's not moving. The situation will be, if United come in, he has to move. They have to trigger it. It's contractual. He loves Manchester United. He loved his time at Manchester United. And this is what Erik Ten Hag did. And this is how bad Erik Ten Hag was at Manchester United. In deals like this, when you've got a player that doesn't feel wanted and leaves like that and gets moved around from pillar to post and you cannot see what's there, you wanted to trust in Malacia and Luke Shaw, then that tells you everything that was wrong with Erik Ten Hag's tenure at Manchester United. Sorry. Well, when I saw him, Alvaro at United, he looked good enough to me, and I wasn't the only one. I could not believe it when they let him go. Fortunately, with a clause. United just need to be all over this. Peter says, Adam, get him. The problem is different managers want to have their style, but had to change it. Amorim is sticking to his guns. He's a lot like Sir Alex Ferguson to me. It's true. He understands what he wants. He understands what he needs. You only have to watch Alvaro Fernandez and know that he gets up and down that line, and he's got an end product as well. Like, the wing backs are so important for Amorim's attacking system and where the contributions come from and goal contributions come from. Alvaro has got that in abundance. I do, knowing what I know now and knowing about that deal and that clause in that deal that can be triggered, you would just take him back anyway to sell him for profit. As a business, Ineos have to be all over this. They cannot be looking at this and going, we'll just leave this one. They have to be looking at this and even speaking to Ruben Amorim. Look, he may not be your first choice. He may not be your player, but we are going to bring him back in just so we could possibly earn more money in the future. Look, I would love to just want to see him playing for United. I think he's a brilliant player. And we've said this all along, and many people have said this. He deserves a lot more than what he got treated like at Manchester United. I said it before. When looking at Alvaro Fernandez, you look at Young Player of the Year at Manchester United, Young Player of the Year at Preston when he went on loan there. Then he was moved around again on loan to Granada in Spain. Did all right there. Then got taken back and sent out to Benfica. He has been moved from pillar to post while Ten Hag has been in situ at this football club. And honestly, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And to be honest, I just hope that Ineos look at this and realise it. And I'm sure Ruben Amorim also knows how good, being a Benfica player as well, I think there is definitely opportunity there for Manchester United. We need to make this happen. We need to make this work. We need to make it within the first 2 years. Like, honestly, like, it could wait till the summer. I don't know. I would rather just bring him in now if we could and just say, F you, Benfica. Sorry, circumstances dictate and we need players in. And this is the perfect opportunity. Left wing back sorted. And then you could maybe get, even if the word of Inacio came in last night, for instance, like Inacio on loan with obligation to buy, you could have another centre-back and a left wing-back in this month. If United get their act together and get moving on this, then we could actually have a very prosperous January transfer window in terms of players coming in, not just players leaving as well. That is a complete swerve ball that I didn't expect coming in. But yeah, now it makes it even clearer what Manchester United need to do. And I have said before, like, don't just look at the deals, what are cheap. He has to be the right quality. Is he not the right quality? Like, seriously, he looks awesome. Mandy, welcome to the Members Club, gifted by London. Thank you, London. Love that. I've been a YouTube moderator for nearly a decade and would like to say I appreciate the moderation standard in this channel. Kudos, guys. Good job. Thank you. Love comments like that. We have got the best community in on YouTube. I'm telling you right now. Keep your comments coming in, everybody. I want to get everything. I want to get your thoughts on everything that is going on. I want to get your thoughts on everything that's actually circulating. I think right now, when you look at what's ahead of Manchester United today, another full training week for Ruben Amorim. Really excited to see what happens on the pitch today. Excited to see what the starting lineup is. Really intrigued. I think we can actually start to see within Manchester United now what Ruben Amorim is doing to this squad. We can see guaranteed starters. So when we're all guessing, like beforehand, we just didn't have a clue. I think we can definitely look at the team today and go, okay, we know that Bayndeh is playing because he said he is. But if you're in a big game right now, or any game for that matter, with Ruben Amorim, and he's picking a team, I think you can definitely say that Rasmus will play because he's the only striker. It's probably a bad way to start that. I mean, you could have Xerxes in there. I don't know. Someone else could play there. But I'm guessing because Højlund's the only out-and-out number 9, which he is, he'll play. Ahmad will play. Bruno Fernandes will play. I think Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte will play. I think Mazraoui will play. I think Martinez and De Ligt will also play. Dalot will play. I mean, we're pretty much picking the team. I think it will be Mainoo and Ugarte. I think it will be Fernandes, Ahmad, Højlund. I think we'll have Mazraoui one side. I think we'll have Dalot the other side. The 3 centre-backs will be De Ligt, Maguire and Martinez, with Bayndeh in goal. That would be my team anyway. We'll get more into that and into more detail on that later on, and what's actually going down with everything around the game in the warm-up show. But yeah, I feel like right now, this is probably the most confident I've felt under Ruben Amorim. Just reading his comments, going through everything that's been said, all of the talk, everything that we've listened to, I think he has got this team where he needs them to be. And now we're finding out what the quality is within this team, honestly. I think that's where we're actually at right now. Hopefully a young player or two, since it's a cup game and not an EPL or Europa League. Well, this is going to be interesting as well. How serious is he going to take the FA Cup? We've seen Goodwell Kokonki training in and amongst it within the Manchester United first team. I mean, does Toby Collier come in? at some point soon. There's talk of him going on loan. I don't know if that's real or if that is going to happen, but honestly, I feel like we are now in a position where the rotation has stopped, or the severe rotation has stopped. But games like Rangers, for instance, that's a big one. We win that, you then get Steaua Bucharest, and then you can actually look at bringing in anyone you want, because that game's a dead rubber. You don't even need to take any of the first team over, because you've already automatically qualified if you beat Rangers. That pretty much nails United on for the knockout phases. So you can take a completely different team, which is brilliant, because then we will see Ruben using some of United's academy players, I think, anyway. I mean, he could use it as a training session for some of the first team, but honestly, in terms of rest and recouping, and getting players to where they need to be physically, I don't think he's going to risk it. I think he'll actually give a lot of the academy players a chance in that last Europa League game. Obviously, all pending on us beating Rangers. I think we will do. I think United at home will beat Rangers, and that put to bed. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does then with some of the academy players. Sam says in the chat, Adam, how about Martinez in Dalot's position? No, I don't like him there. I don't think he's good enough going forward. Dalot showed promise. I think Dalot showed promise in the last game against Liverpool that he can bomb up and down the wing and get some contribution into the front men. I think that's important. According to Sky, United have brought in another goalkeeper. Anyone know anything about this? I think that is a woman's goalkeeper. Last I seen, Wayne, not the men's team. I'm pretty certain that's the case. So yeah, I think I seen that come up yesterday. The team is basically picks itself. The only unknown is whether Ahmad has fully recovered from his injury/knock. If not, we might see Garnacho starting. It's true. That's true. Alex with a super chat. Thank you, buddy. For left back, sign Alejandro. What's that? Alejandro Balde. Speed and energy. Honestly, I don't think. Right, I think he knows who he wants at left back. I think he knows who he wants in that position. I don't think we're going to hear any more names. I think it will be what we know of. I think Alvaro, like we've just spoken about then. I think Mendes as well. I think that comes into it. But yeah. In terms of the goalkeeper and what Sky is saying there, it's probably better than what we've got in the men's team. Probably is. Right now, honestly, that is a position that United need to rectify in the summer. But over 1,400 in the room, 300 likes just about to be hit. Please, everybody, give the video a like. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV. And get your comments in, everyone. We ain't getting Balde from Barcelona, says Nigel. Keep your comments coming in. We're opening it up to your thoughts now. Let's see what else we've got. Quick poll. How many does Bayern concede today? You're getting into score predictions there now. 1-2 or none. 1-2, none or more, actually, in there. I'm you know what, interested to see if he actually goes into this game confidently today, because Bayern is getting more games than he's ever had at Manchester United. So, yeah, going to be, I feel, I'm just more confident. I don't know what it is. I'm just more confident that we are going to get more out of this. I just feel it a little bit more. And honestly, I just think that United right now, we're in a position where I think confidence is coming in with the system more than the players. Like, the players' confidence and their qualities, I think, will get better and better. But I actually feel like right now, the team is getting more confident in how Ruben wants them to play, especially having more training time as well. And that has been clear. That has definitely been clear over the last couple of weeks that United have improved. Super chat from Block again. Thank you, mates. Bayern appearances, 4 clean sheets, none. Say no more. Never mind. I think he averages what? So what games has he actually played then? I think he had the FA Cup one against Newport last season. He conceded 2 in that. He conceded 3 against Spurs. I'm sure there's been another game where he conceded goals. I can't even remember the other games, to be honest. But yeah, he hasn't got a great record. anyway. But yeah, just to go over all of the news again before we start closing in on the show. Marcus Rashford, the Mirror saying this morning, expecting a bid from Napoli. We talked about that last night in terms of what's happening with him and the possibility of Napoli now having sold Kvaratskhelia to PSG. Oh, well, it's pretty much near enough done. 80 million in the bag for them, and they would look to try and replace him straight away. So going to be interesting, very interesting to see what happens with that one. Zlatan has been coming out talking about Marcus Rashford, talking about the potential of the move. One of the comments that Zlatan did say, he's not worried about whether or not Rashford wants to come to AC Milan. Everyone wants to come to AC Milan because they're such a great club. That's Zlatan talking Zlatan tongue right there. Kobbie Mainoo has to earn his contract. There are more headlines going around this morning, but that is based off what Ruben Amorim said in the press conference, and Ruben just laying it out. Everybody's bigging Kobbie Mainoo up to be something he's not, but he is. He is a good player, and he has got potential, but he's not there yet. That's what he's saying. Earn your contract, which is what it should be for every single player at Manchester United. And of course, we just talked about that release clause and that buyback clause that United have on Alvaro Fernandez. And now, in fact, it is actually only 8.5 million because United actually have a sell-on clause as well as a buyback clause. The buyback clause is 16.7 million, but because we have a 50% sell-on clause in this deal, Alvaro Fernandez will cost United half of that 16.7 million. It's clever, and it's not something that you'd expect to come from Manchester United, but that's the reality. We've actually done an all right deal on this one, which is crazy. It really is. But listen, that is everything for the show here on FUTV this morning. I'm going to be flying across immediately, pretty much. We are scheduled to go at 9 o'clock. That may be a little bit earlier over on Football Talks. We're going to go and do the paper round right now. So all that's left for me to say here is, please, everybody on FUTV, come over, join the conversation. We have got some United stuff to touch on in the paper round as well. So we're going to jump over to there now. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, jump across, and join us there live. We'll continue the conversation again. But for now, everyone, here on FUTV, thank you so much. Thank you for all the contributions, new members. Don't forget, I'll be back at 11 o'clock here on FUTV for the warm-up show, building up to the Arsenal game as well. Make sure that you're there on that one. Thank you, everybody. Please like the video. Please hit that subscribe button as well. Onwards and upwards.